Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. I know it's been a minute. Oh my, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I feel like I've been saying this for so long in my own personal life, but I feel like I keep getting ripped to shreds. And then I put myself back together. And I'm like, cool, this feels good. This makes sense. These pieces fit. And then not long after that, I feel like I'm ripped to shreds again. More so, obviously, energetically. And I think in big part that is because number one, maybe not even in any type of particular order, but like a culmination of all of these things. Jupiter is in my 12th house. And the last time Jupiter was in my 12th house is actually when I started my actual, real, and really a better word for that is intentional healing. I met a mentor at the time that really helped me unpack a lot of my subconscious shit. Literally, I think I cried for the first at least 3 weeks when we first started working together, before I was able to kind of start making practical, steps forward. So that was back in 2012. And literally, because I asked this person the dates of all of these things, and granted, they're not exact, but they're pretty close. Because this person has a defined head and ajna, on the human design side of things, and is just they remember everything. I'm pretty sure they've said they remember their own birth. I have an undefined head and ajna, so it's just shit is just swirling around in there. I remember the most random stuff, but not my own birth. So anyway, if you've made it this far, I will. A part of me is I might make this its own separate video, but the other part of me is it's probably going to end up being the intro, and I'll just put a time stamp in the description for when the actual reading starts if you don't want to sit here and listen to me ramble, because my defined throat, I have to ramble for a second. So bear with me. So anyway, back to my little ramble. How do you like my new setup? We'll see if this spot becomes permanent. It's at least temporary. We'll see how it goes, but I love it. I love the little plant vibe going on. So anyway, Gemini, Jupiter, that's my 12th house. And there is, it's this, first of all, it's a deeper understanding even of myself over the last 12 years, right? Just the work that I've put into myself, to understanding how I even became the person that I have become. And are there things that maybe I want to change that are just no longer fitting into my life, or I'm finally realizing aren't fitting into my life, which is the next thing. So Pluto, OMFG. Pluto has been squaring my natal Saturn since it went back into Capricorn, I have a 29-degree Saturn. And, Pluto has been at 29 degrees for the last, I don't know, however long. And not to mention, even before, right? Because it went into Aquarius for a sec, and then it retrograded back out. So Pluto has been squaring my natal Saturn for, I honestly have no effing clue how long. Not to mention, I have a 27-degree Pluto that's conjunct my Saturn at 29 degrees. So at some point in the last couple years, Pluto was squaring my natal Pluto. So, so yeah, that is also a bit uncomfy and has been a bit uncomfy. And I do feel like I'm finally starting to realize that, again, just the things that I was doing, how I was operating in my life, how I was operating in my relationships, how I was even approaching work and my idea of work and my whatever. I feel like I'm starting to finally get the clue on all of that. And quite frankly, I am excited for Pluto to just be away from from my Saturn, from my Pluto. I don't know, I'm not so educated in astrology to know, when that relief will start to come. Like, how far does Pluto have to be in Aquarius in order for me to feel a little bit of relief from that? Not to mention, too, Neptune was squaring my natal Neptune for the last, again, I don't know how long. I have a 28-degree Neptune. So there was that going on. Saturn has been tap dancing on my MC degree. Like, I think it made it to the exact degree that my MC is, and then it went retrograde. So it got there, and then it was like, oh, nope. I just heard that Aaliyah song, back, forth and forth. Because that's how, it seems like there's just, obviously, right? A lot of that going on with retrogrades and all of this stuff. So Saturn made it to my MC, which is in my 9th house. And then it went backwards. And then at some point it's going to go forward again and go over that bitch one more time before it leaves the sign entirely. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in my 10th house. But I don't have any placements there, so it might be okay. But, and it's loosely opposing my moon right now. So, oh, and Uranus is almost right on top of my Chiron. I have a 27-degree Taurus Chiron and a 28-degree Taurus Sun. So, that's coming up at some point. All of that is to say that, I have not been consistent here in this space. And that has caused me a lot of anxiety because I really do enjoy showing up here. I really enjoy the expansion that this space, that, tarot readings, that, connecting with you guys offers. And I cannot guarantee that it would be more consistent going forward, but I want to, it is on my list of things to prioritize. The first thing being myself, because I really have not done that. I tend to sacrifice my own well-being, and that has been something that has, it's been at the forefront. So if you are still here, I am so glad And I want you to know that I do think of you often. What is so funny is that, okay, I didn't even put that together. This looks like a little succulent here in the middle, and then just these flowers around the border. That's so funny. I actually, just to kind of wrap this up, because now I don't even know what I was talking about before I realized that, but I was actually I was grabbing my microphone actually, and then I look over to where like I have all of my tarot decks crammed into this one shelf, and I was like, oh, I haven't used the Muse Tarot in a while, a long time actually. So I was like, do you want to do the reading? Because I always ask my decks before I even do the reading if they want to do the reading. I actually asked this deck if it wanted to be a clarifying deck. This is the Tarot of the Abyss. And this is the card that came out, the Five of Cups. So that's a no. That is a no from Tarot of the Abyss. I think I already shuffled, well, the Star card came out. The Three of Pentacles working together, the Fool. I love that. So yes, this deck was definitely a yes, but I love the coordination. That is so funny to me. So it's been 15 minutes already. If you listen to this whole thing, thank you so much for allowing me the space to share. And if you know your own astrology, if you've, if there's some crazy shit going on with you too, I would love to hear it if you feel like sharing, because I think it really does just help, to share those things, and even to just allowing other people to see you and honor you in your experience. So with that being said, let's get into the readings. Great. So this is a reading for Pisces, wherever Pisces is in your chart. And this is the fourth time I'm trying to do your reading. I actually did try to do your reading like a month ago, and it just was not. So anyway, and then even just the last couple times, I literally haven't even been able to pull a spread. So what I'm going to do is shut the fuck up and get these cards out. I am doing a little bit different of a spread than my normal. Or I guess what I have been doing, I'm going to switch it up. We're not taking jumpers anymore. You'll see. I'm just going to get these cards out. So let's just dive right in. Give me just a sec. Okay. Current energy, Ace of Materials, or the Ace of Pentacles. What is leaving is the Five of Voices, or the Five of Swords. Love that. What is coming in? The Seven of Materials. Beautiful. Okay, clarifiers. For the Ace of Materials, we have the Nine of Swords. For the Five of Voices, we have the Ten of Cups. And for the Six of Pentacles, we have for the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Six of Cups. What was this? Muse of Inspiration. Okay. Actually, I feel like it's so interesting because like with the current and with what's leaving, it's like we have this good card, quote unquote, positive, whatever, paired with a card that's like kind of melancholy, kind of, there's no bad cards in tarot, right? I mean, and when I say bad card, just, it's like the opposite of this, like feel good. It's like not feeling so great. And then over here in what's leaving, we have kind of a not so feel great card with the feel great card. So it's interesting. And then just over here, we have like this kind of everything's going to be all right. Maybe you should watch. Was that like Shark Tale? with the jellyfish. That, I mean, of course you could just listen to the Bob Marley song, you know, every little thing is gonna be all right. But, you know, if you like cartoons, I feel like I always have a cartoon reference. I think it was Shark Tale, right? With the jellyfish. So let's just get into it. I feel like, too, just in the way that I feel like your reading has treated me, like I'm, I know that probably sounds, but it really has this thing of like no bullshit. Like it's like you don't have room for sprinkle. You don't have like the space. It's you know, like just kind of give me the information basically, right? So first of all, this Muse of Inspiration came out, which is the King of Wands. And usually anytime I do this spread anyway, like in real life, does that make sense? Like giving personal readings to people. If that happens where, you know, I pick up a deck and literally one card stays, then, you know, I do think that that is part of the reading. And it's interesting because in this King of Wands, it feels like literally walking through fire, which feels like to me about like a rite of passage. Even, I mean, we can see like on this card, right? There's, you know, just the way that they're mirrored here, it looks like a passageway. And here's this person walking through it. You know, there's all this fire because obviously wands have to do with fire. These look like angel wings too, or wings in general. I don't know why angel came, like specifically came out, like, but it did. So, you know, it could just, you know, it's literally allowing yourself to be guided. It's also even trusting the fire because you're a water sign, right? So and also even too, like anytime water and fire comes up for me, it's, you know, what happens when you put those two things together? For one, water extinguishes fire, right? Like if there is enough water, it will put out a fire. However, on the flip side of things, fire will make water boil. And this feels more like fire making water boil versus being extinguished. There's this full moon here too. There is a full moon coming up in Aries this week on the 14th. Excuse me, on the 17th. You could have fire in your chart. Anyway, and you know, the kings are the highest expression of the suit also, right? Like, so there's an entrepreneur aspect that comes with the King of Wands because you're not going to tell the King of Wands really what to do. Like they need to have creative freedom. They need to be able to switch directions as fast as they want to, as many times as they want to, based on the information that they get along the way. They're also, you know, kings oversee a kingdom, so people look to them for guidance. You know, there could be some sort of like promotion coming up, but also even like recognition in some aspect. It could be taking your skill set and knowing your worth type of thing. Because again, you know, the King of Wands, it's been through the ace, through the queen. So I see wands as being information by way of experience. So you learn things by trying them, right? You pick up skills along the way. You pick up lessons. You pick up, you know, what works, what doesn't work. And the King of Wands, like, has all of that information. They know how to use it to their benefit. And they're able to also share that with other people. Like, that's not going to work, but this way would. Or whatever, right? So I do kind of love that that card even came out because I feel like it's even just another affirmation for, you know, like if the perception of the situation, or it's like if you're being dragged by the situation unwillingly, but just the events that are happening, the things that are going on feel to be like out of your control. It's like you are being guided through this rite of passage, but like you are being guided to something that is better fit for you. So, I mean, we haven't even gotten into the reading yet. It's been 10 minutes. So the Ace of Materials is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is a new opportunity. It could be a new job. It could be, you know, a gift coming in. It could be just an increase in, I almost said like sustainability, like an increase in money. Aces are something new, though. It could have to do with your health. And in both of these cards, their eyes are closed. So again, you know, it just has this feeling of like not wanting to look. Almost probably too, like really having to like trust the process. Maybe even hoping that, you know, by keeping your proverbial, you know, eyes closed, that things would just figure themselves out. So again, right? I mean, this is the current energy. So there's something that is being presented to you that is new. So again, it could be a new job offer. You could be having to look for a new job. There could be a change in your finances. That could be good or bad, especially because it's paired with a Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is anxiety, it's fear, it's the card of like losing sleep at night. Nines are also individual completion too. So with it being paired with an ace, there something could be coming to a close because of this Ace of Pentacles coming in. It's like whatever you have been stressing about is going to have some sort of resolution, and it's going to be a new situation. However, too, right? Like on the flip side, like I said, like you could be forced to have to find something new, and it could be stressing you out. So it really just depends, obviously, on your situation. Pentacles also, did I say this already, have to do with our health. So there could be some concern around your health and maybe even adapting a new lifestyle, like lifestyle change that is stressing you out here or has stressed you out. And what's leaving is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords for me is a battle of wits. There's usually other people involved with the Five of Swords. There doesn't have to be. It could just be you in your own head going back and forth. You know, it could be, of course, like indecision, but even just weighing your options. Even too, like I feel like that happens when we are in limbo for a while, because it's like a stop and start type of thing in limbo, right? Like things get moving and then they can abruptly stop or even like change directions or whatever. And interestingly enough, in this card, like there is an olive branch being offered here. So again, like there is some sort of resolution that is coming up. And I just kept thinking like green flag for some reason. I was actually like green flag kept coming up, but in the context of a white flag, because, you know, compromise, the finish line, or what, like last lap or something. Is that the white flag in racing? What the hell? I have no clue. I don't I'm like, where did that even come from? But, and to like the mirroring effect. I mean, a lot of these cards have this type of imagery anyway, where it's like this, you know, mirror, you know, thing. But like I was saying with the muse of inspiration, we have this mirroring effect, and there's still like this focal point being the intersection of those two. These people down here, like it looks like they're meditating. This person looks a little stressed, but there could be an olive branch coming in, and that could be settling some sort of conflict. Swords are about our mind. I don't know if I said that about the Nine of Swords, but it has to do with our mindset, our beliefs, truth, honesty, but like divine truth, divine honesty. So, and truth hurts sometimes too. Like, even if there is a new opportunity, right? The truth would be that you are leaving an old new opportunity, right? Like, sometimes it's like coming to the conclusion of what is true. It fucking sucks sometimes. And with it paired with the Ten of Cups, like I said, like the Ten of Cups is the good of the good cards. It's joy, it's bliss, it's like everybody is happy, everybody is content, everybody feels fulfilled, purposeful, like everybody has a job. So with that being paired with the Five of Voices, and especially in the position of what is leaving, there's clearly a situation here where you've been happy in it, but there's been like tension around it. And even with these people, like I said, meditating down there, just this feeling of being in either stillness or like just not seeing a ton of movement, trying to like hold on to the Ten of Cups energy. And then we move on to the Seven of Pentacles with the Six of Cups. And in the Seven of Pentacles, I mean, look at all of this blooming going on. Like there's so much life in the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles does talk about focusing your energy, your time, your physical presence, your resources. It's focusing it on something in order to materialize it, in order to bring it into the 3D. I always like talk about, with the Seven of Pentacles, I always talk about, we can't just plant a seed in the ground and do literally nothing else and expect it to grow into something that we can harvest and or like into a tree or whatever, right? Like we have to water it every day. We have to prune it. We have to check for pests. We have to, provide the correct amount of sun. Like we have to do all of these things, which requires, again, our resources, our physical presence, our time, our energy, in order to like see this thing grow to its like full potential. So this is what's coming in. This opportunity, and it could be whatever this Ace of Materials is. It could be an opportunity that has a lot of growth potential. There's a path forward here too, because there is this clear path going through this portal. So again, even this rite of passage thing happening, like literally even seeing this whole process as being a rite of passage, like in your own life, looking around and being like, yeah, I can see that I'm being, I hate the word tested, but that's the word that came up. I hate that word. I'm being shown, guided, directed through this, like, I clearly was guided to this passageway here, because this person doesn't even look like they're like actually in it yet, right? Like it looks like they have a couple feet to go before they're actually like passing through that. But everything that has happened has gotten you here, and it's another step on the journey. But there is some sort of portal, some sort of, like something, transition that you're going through, which again, it can be uncomfortable, especially if you have an emotional attachment to it, because interestingly enough, like both of these cards are Cups cards, which, have to do with our emotions and how we feel about things. That's water, obviously, right? So you're a water sign. So it's like, if your emotions have been attached to whatever this thing is, having to like pull out those hooks, right? Like having to just emotionally detach yourself from something. And especially if you've been happy with it, and especially too, if, it's because you're having to move on to the next thing and there's uncertainty involved with it. It could just feel like, I want to say discombobulated, but I guess I'll go with that. And it's paired with the Six of Cups, which is the card of nostalgia. It's, looking back at the good times. This could be saying that whatever is coming up, you'll look back and be happy with where you are. It could be a past opportunity, a past situation. It could be, just a way that you used to feel in your life. I mean, it could even just be like, man, here I am again. Like, I thought I was settled. I thought I was, going to be doing this thing for a while. And now I'm back to, again, right? Like having to trust the uncertainty and worry about these things that I haven't had to worry about in a long time or whatever, at least a certain amount of time. The Six of Cups also is like acts of kindness. It's generosity. Gratitude is in there too. And not to mention, like, what happens when water and earth comes together? Growth. I was just talking about that with you have to water earth in order for it to, for the most part, right, live and thrive and survive. And, so this is even just kind of getting back into like literally feeding your life with your own element, being like emotionally involved in your life, like I love that. I love that. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for taking me on this journey. I'm so glad that I actually did get the Pisces reading done. I know you guys are going through it. Saturn is in Pisces until next year sometime. Neptune is in Pisces too. I think it's at the later degrees of Pisces now because like I think I said in my intro, it's squaring my natal Neptune. So it's like, it's about time, like what I was hearing before is like time is up. So yeah, this is positive. It's just maybe not gonna feel that way in your head. I get that. All right, I'm leaving it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.